roaring fans flooding into the Louisiana Superdome. This is the same stadium that housed desperate residents in the wake of Hurricane Katrina 5 years ago. Rebuilt with a new roof, it is home to the New Orleans Saints. The football team has been vital in regenerating the city known as the Big Easy. This year, fans say they have their best chance of winning America's ultimate sporting event, the Super Bowl.
Come on, how do you not win? Look at the stadium, look at the people around us, come on. It's going to be awesome.
We are here to support all the players. We have no favorites. We are a team. We are the city of New Orleans.
My favorite player is Drew Brees.
Drew Brees, why?
Because he's the best on the team.
Outside the Superdome there are thousands of fans, but the incredible thing about NFL football is that whilst the teams compete fiercely on the pitch, off the pitch the teams actually share their revenue, not just from the enormous TV rights, but also from merchandising and from ticket sales. Only a small portion of what the teams make locally they get to keep. The National Football League is also limited to just 32 teams. They share about half of all their revenue, including $24 billion in television deals. And there are limits on how much debt they can each take on. The man in charge of marketing the NFL is Mark Waller.
We have a sort of socialist capitalism, I think, is probably the best way to describe it. Essentially, all teams share in the vast majority of revenues on an equal basis. So whether you come from New York or Green Bay, irrespective of the size of your market, the size of your fan base or your TV audience. So revenues are shared equally and equitably, which is fantastic. And similarly, costs are controlled. So every team has a salary cap. It has the same salary cap. So you can't buy your way to the best players.
Unlike Premier League football in Europe and other US professional sports, sharing this wealth equally amongst all teams keeps them competitive. As the motto goes, on any given Sunday, any team can win, and that, of course, draws in the fans. This season has seen record TV audiences for NFL teams who each play 20 games, and despite the recession, record attendance at stadiums. Mike McCarthy follows the business of sport for the national newspaper USA Today.
You don't have this huge gap between the richest clubs and the smallest clubs. Any team can compete for the Super Bowl title every year. And in America, particularly in a capitalist country like ours, that's very unique. As one NFL owner liked to put it, we're 32 fat cat Republicans who vote socialist.
But not everyone is happy. The NFL has operated a very successful salary cap system. This year, team owners must pay their entire teams no more than $127 million. Yes, star players are handsomely paid. New Orleans quarterback Drew Brees has a $60 million six-year contract. But that could all change if a new salary cap deal isn't reached. And DeMaurice Smith, the head of the Players Union, says team owners now wield too much power.
We want to be full partners, but we are in a situation where the owners believe that the players should take about 20% less than they are making right now.
If there is no agreement between players and owners, the NFL could begin to unravel as early as next season.
Who dat?
Back in New Orleans, Doug Thornton, who rebuilt the stadium after Hurricane Katrina, says it couldn't have been done without the National Football League. They provided the money that meant the dome could be reopened for business just a year after the disaster.
After Katrina, people realized that there was a lot of misery and suffering in this building. It played out on a worldwide stage. So it was important for us to turn the Superdome back into a symbol of inspiration and hope as opposed to a symbol of misery and suffering. But it's meant an awful lot to our citizens. It's been a real inspiration to our city.
And what better comeback story for the Saints than to win the Super Bowl for the first time in 43 years, a game that will be watched by 140 million Americans on Super Bowl Sunday.